Ahsoka got her very own panel at Star Wars Celebration, and it was incredible. Dave Filoni, Pablo Hidalgo, and Ashley Eckstein sat down to discuss the stories we didn't get to see in the Clone Wars. So in this video, I thought it would be cool to cover those story arcs. But quickly, before I do, I just want to mention that Dave and Pablo both said that everything we're about to talk about is basically canon. It's possible it could be overwritten by future stories, but they said as they continued writing Ahsoka and Rebels, they proceeded as if all of these events had happened, and we can see hints and references to those events throughout the series. The first arc would have been all about Ahsoka's discovery as a Jedi, which was briefly seen in the series itself. The story would have shown a beautiful bounty hunter posing as a Jedi in order to kidnap Ahsoka. Her plot would have been foiled, and Plo Koon, who would look extra scary, would come to take Ahsoka to the temple. The moral of the story being, don't judge a book by its cover. Or if you want to go all Tolkien on it, not all that glitters is gold. The second arc would have been called Ahsoka's Walkabout. This would have taken place after her exit from the Jedi Order, and followed her as she learned to live a quote-unquote normal life. Ahsoka spent her entire life in a temple. She's never had to worry about buying food or equipment, and we would have seen her adapt while growing close with a scoundrel named Okami. Eventually, she would have become a kind of Batman vigilante / protector for the citizens of Coruscant's level 1313. The third arc would show Ahsoka being pulled back into Jedi business by discovering and investigating the ruins of the Sith temple that sat underneath the Jedi Temple. We've already seen that in the new canon in the book Tarkin, but it would have been very interesting to see on screen. The fourth arc is where the feels come in, and it was so moving it brought Ashley to tears on stage. It would have been the final arc of the series and been titled The Siege of Mandalore. Ahsoka would be working with Bo-Katan to fight Darth Maul on Mandalore after the events of the Son of Dathomir comic. She would call in the help of Obi-Wan and Anakin, who would obviously want to see Maul captured. Unfortunately, Yoda would call the Jedi back to Coruscant to rescue the Chancellor at the start of Revenge of the Sith. This exact moment was referenced by Ahsoka in Rebels. But before leaving, Anakin would tell Ahsoka how proud he is of her and leave half the 501st in her command. Hangar doors would open to reveal clone troopers painted in orange, led by Rex, which would also explain why we never see him in the films. Together, Ahsoka, the clones, and the loyal Mandalorians would drive Darth Maul off-planet. It sounds like it would have been one of the most exciting, most emotional episodes of the series. And again, Filoni has been operating under the assumption that those events did happen, which is why Ahsoka and Maul recognized each other in the Rebels Season 2 finale. The final story the panel touched upon would be Ahsoka's adventures between Episode 3 and Star Wars Rebels. We got confirmation that despite her non-Jedi status, the clones would have been hunting her after Order 66. But the upcoming Ahsoka book will be telling stories in the same time period, so some of the ideas Filoni mentioned might be brought to life on page. So, which of those stories would you have most liked to see? Let me know in the comments, and go ahead and like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already to see new Star Wars videos every weekday. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.